Right now at 6, a former youth skills coach goes on trial for allegedly sexually abusing a teenage client who was in recovery. What we've learned from opening statements.
Plus, what happened after a pickup truck careened down a sidewalk in downtown Vancouver, straight toward a brewery.
It could have been worse. It could have been way worse, you know?
And later, contest controversy at Oregon State.
It just felt like a slap in the face to say, like, yeah, your design didn't make it, but this AI one did.
KGW looks into the ethical questions around whether AI was used to create this award-winning design.
First at 6, testimony began today in the trial of a former youth counselor accused of sexual misconduct with a teenager. Thanks for joining us. I'm David Molko.
And I'm Christine Pedawanich. A warning, this story contains adult content, including sexual references. Our Libby Dowsett has our top story from Clark County.
Former Daybreak skills coach Alicia K. Stowe is charged with first-degree sexual misconduct with a minor. The alleged victim, now 20 years old, took the stand Tuesday morning. Prosecutors say the misconduct began in 2021 when the young man was 16 and receiving treatment at Daybreak Youth Services for substance abuse disorder. Stowe was 32 years old. In court, the alleged victim said Stowe would take walks with him around the facility, and when he started sending notes to her saying he cared for her, he said the interactions became sexual, including an incident in a Daybreak bathroom in which he said Stowe performed oral sex on him. The defense countered that the young man, after getting out of treatment, told police meth had affected his memory, and sometimes he didn't remember exactly what happened when he was using.
He doesn't have a reliable memory after he was 14 years old, which I think is part of the problem. But the other issue is going to be he doesn't always know when he's telling the truth and when he's not telling the truth.
Prosecutors allege the misconduct continued after the boy left treatment, the young man saying he exchanged texts with Stowe. He said Stowe even drove 2 hours to his hometown to meet him for sex at a motel. The state of Washington has suspended the counseling credentials for Stowe, as well as the license of the Daybreak facility in both Brush Prairie and Spokane. The Department of Health said it received several allegations that Daybreak staff engaged in sexual misconduct and boundary violations with adolescent patients. During the trial, the defense says it plans to focus on the fact there were cameras throughout the facility and staff members were assigned to watch the monitors at all times. The trial is expected to last about 3 days. Libby Dowsett, KGW News.
If you or someone you know has been sexually assaulted, help is available. On your screen right now is the National Sexual Assault Hotline. That number is 1-800-656-4673. It is available 24/7.
In your headlines tonight, authorities in Hood River County have now arrested the last of 3 suspects wanted in a homicide. Police say Friday afternoon, 38-year-old Stephen Hayes confronted a person who had broken into his vehicle and was trying to steal his bike. Authorities say he was assaulted and then run over by the suspects as they drove away in a stolen pickup. 2 suspects were arrested over the weekend. The third, Jonathan Matthews of the Dalles, was arrested early this afternoon. All 3 have been charged with murder and robbery.
The man accused of murdering a woman in Portland's Centennial neighborhood nearly a month ago was in court this morning for his arraignment. Prosecutors say Joshua Thielbar shot and killed Brianne Pardue on March 17th near Southeast 114th and Harrison. Thielbar was arrested later that day and charged with second-degree murder. This morning, he pleaded not guilty.
In Yamhill County, a Sheridan man is behind bars on a slew of gun-related charges following a standoff. It started with a report Sunday that Jesse Acuff was shooting a gun inside city limits. He denied that when deputies first checked in. Then, hours later, a state trooper returned to his home after a 911 hang-up call. They noticed Acuff was carrying a concealed handgun, which he is barred from having as a felon. After a brief standoff, deputies arrested him. A search of the suspect's home then turned up more than a dozen self-manufactured ghost guns, authorities say, along with ammunition.
And in Salem, a bill trying to limit distractions in Oregon classrooms is one step closer to becoming law. Today, House lawmakers passed it. It would require school districts to come up with a policy to prevent students from having devices like smartphones during the school day. Each district would decide how to do that and could use things like magnetized pouches or an off and away system, requiring students to turn off their devices and store them in their backpacks. The bill now heads to the Senate. Matt?
All right, Christine, thank you very much. This is a great day to be away from your devices and enjoying the sunshine outside. What a beautiful day. Still clear, 73 degrees. Northwest winds have picked up, and that will bring cooler air in from the coast inland. So we drop our temperatures a bit tomorrow, but it's going to remain sunny and fantastic. Our high today was 75 here in town, 70 throughout the metro, but the coast has cooled off. And again, that cooler air will be pushing into the Willamette Valley later on tonight. Nevertheless, it'll be sunny tomorrow. Sunrise at 6:22, sunset at 7:59. Thursday, our first 8 p.m. sunset of the year, will top out around 68 degrees tomorrow. So again, still a beautiful day, even though it will be a little bit cooler. As we go into the weekend, there will be some showers Sunday, but no need to worry too much about that for Easter. I'll explain why in a little bit. And then the other thing I'm tracking is the potential for the northern lights to be visible tonight. We'll have more on this for you in a little bit later on, guys. Back to you.
I remember what it was like last May. So good. Thanks, Matt.
Now at 6, a driver is in the hospital after crashing into a Vancouver business. A warning, you're about to see some pretty shocking surveillance video of a crash.
Well, it happens in just seconds as the truck barrels down the sidewalk. Here it comes on Main Street, sideswiping a brewery and causing thousands in damage. Police tell us the driver was thrown from the truck after what you're seeing here and suffered serious injuries. Want to bring in Daisy Caballero live in downtown Vancouver with a closer look at that video and the aftermath. Daisy?
Yeah, David, Christine, if you can imagine this, they are back up and running. People are inside of the brewery. They have also set up some benches out here for people to enjoy, to come and support them. But you can still visibly see a lot of the damage, including this railing. Just check out how loose that is, alongside some of the markings from the tires that's still on the patio. Now, what they believe happened is that red truck hit this pillar and also that second pillar, lost control and hit that garbage can all the way down the street there, about half a block away. Here's that surveillance video again, captured by Irrelevant Beer at 2:40 this morning. You can see just how fast that car was traveling. The co-owner believes the driver was going at least 60 miles an hour, leaving the car in shreds. Vancouver PD says officers found the driver lying in the road about 15 feet from his truck. He was then transported to the hospital with serious injuries. The business owner is left with over $20,000 in damages.
First off, hoping that the person survived, because I wouldn't wish that on anyone. But also, we've only been open for 2 months, so it's like our baby. So initially, it was no, gosh, why, But we're resilient.
Vancouver PD told Mitch Montgomery, that you just heard from there. The driver was not impaired, but uninsured in driving with a suspended license. And as I just told you just a few moments ago, they are back up and running. They opened at 3 o'clock and will be open all the way until 9 o'clock tonight. Back to you.
Good to see customers in there supporting the business. Thank you, Daisy.
Okay, it is April 15th, which means it is the final day to file your taxes or an extension before you start getting hit with penalties. I'm done. Are you done?
Yes, finally. I did it yesterday, I think. So if you haven't filed yet, here are some important reminders. IRS Direct File allows most taxpayers to file federal taxes for free. You'll need to create an online account with your social security number and a photo ID. To file your state taxes for free, you can use Direct File Oregon. Mailed returns must be postmarked today, and electronic returns are due by midnight. If necessary, you can also extend your filing deadline to October 15th with Form 4868, but it is not an extension to pay. And of course, if you live in Portland, remember to pay that arts tax.
Not an extension to pay. So important. Okay, straight ahead.